first introductory chords. There's a couple different ways you can do it. I think that they start out with the first inversion in your F chord, at least in the right hand here. Might be a little loud, but and you just want to pulse the left hand on the and of the beat. So the first beat, you got them together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then you come down to your C chord, and you could do this a couple ways. You could move down like this with your right hand here, where you're going from the first inversion F chord to the third or second inversion C chord, where you have the G, C, E. And that's not what we talked about in the lesson, but depending on how you do it, there's just more logical ways to get to the chords. They're kind of doing a little bit of jumping around, but it'll work much smoother if you find the least path of resistance, which is basically whatever inversion you can play the chord in that keeps your hand in the same relatively in the same position. You basically you want to not jump around as much as you can. Obviously, there's going to be points where you have to, but in this situation, like when you're going from the F to the C, it seems like they jump up to this root note, where it just, piano-wise, just makes more sense to do, or I'm sorry, C here. You know, you can get the lower ba ba ba, and I think that makes that seventh kind of stick out even more, opposed to, again, we can try it like this. And if you want to, we talked about in the lesson about going to this chord with your 1, 2, and 3. So it makes this easier when you're doing 4 and 1. But if you want to do it with your pinky, you know, you can then resolve back to the F. So if you're doing it this way, where you got your F chord like this, and then you go to the C, and then you go back to the F here. Or you can do it this way, go to the C like this, and then back to the F this way. Then it goes up to the B, and if you're doing the F like this, the B would make more sense to go like this. So you got to think about like what the most efficient route is to the voicings, or the notes of the chords that you want, and it'll give you different voicings, you know, and you know, sometimes you might want the harder route just because of the voicing that you want. But basically, for right now, we want to get used to it both ways, just because it's going to give you the most experience out of the time that you spend practicing. You got your C chord or F chord first inversion to your C chord second inversion, and then the seventh back down to the F in first inversion. Or you can do F in first inversion, and then C in root position, 1, 2, 4, 4, 5, 5, or you can do 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, and then back to your F second inversion. Okay, so so there's two different ways to do it that we should get used to both. It'll just teach us more agility and everything. So so see how you do with that, and one more time I'll go through it just so you have it here. I'll go through it the way that we talked about in the lesson. So we have the also put in that B, jump up with your left hand to the B,